Can you believe it? We are at the end of chapter 1. So, complex numbers. We have the real number system and we have complex number systems. Now, the truth is, if this big little teardrop represented complex numbers, the real number system would really only be like that. But in order to be able to type in it, I had to make it bigger. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. So, page next. Complex number system technically only has four parts of it that it builds off of, but it starts from the square root of 1. Square root of 1 is I to the first power. Then, if I square that, then the square root of 1 squared. Remember that square root and square cancel each other. So we end up with -1. And remember, though, in the real number system, if I had the square root of -1 squared, -1 squared would become the square root of +1. But in the complex system, that doesn't happen. Somehow, and I don't know how, but somehow the square root of -1 squared, the squaring of it doesn't take away the -1. And I can't explain it, but it somehow it happens. But the square root and squares still cancel each other. And it ends up -1. So then I cubed becomes I squared times I. And I squared is -1. So -1 times I becomes -I. And then I to the fourth is I squared times I squared. So -1 times -1, which becomes +1. And then if I was to have I to the fifth, that would give me I to the fourth times I, which would be 1 times I, which is I. So it's a system that just keeps cycling through itself. Okay? So this is a very much like chapter 1.6, except with an I. So then the square root of -36 would be the square root of -1 times the square root of 36. The square root of -1 is I, and the square root of 36 is 6. So you'd end up with 6i. Now, the opposite of that would make that -6i. And then you throw in something nasty like this. So then you've got 2 times 25. That's 5. But then you've got that scoundrel, and the square root of -1 is I. So that gives you 5I. And then you've got the square root of 2. Yippee skippy. Okay. This should take care of all 8 problems. But hang on just a minute. In the real number system, this will give you an error. But in your TI-83 calculators, okay, if you hit mode, and you go down until you hit, hang on just a minute, let me turn the calculator on. Go on down until you hit real. And then arrow over 1 time until you hit A plus BI. That's the complex number system. Hit enter. Then you're going to hit second mode to take it back to the home screen. Then when you hit the square root of -36, and enter, your calculator should give you 6I as an answer. Okay. Now, a couple of extra information. Okay. Parentheses are above the 8 key. Here's the open parenthesis. Above the 9 key is the close parenthesis. Then I is above the dot key. So, and to get the I, you would hit second and dot. So, parenthesis for second dot plus 5, close parenthesis, plus 3 second dot minus 2, close parenthesis. When you do this, okay, and that's how I want you to do this problem. So 4 second dot plus 5, close parenthesis, plus open parenthesis 3 second dot minus 2, close parenthesis, enter. And when you enter, it tells you 3 plus 7i. I really don't want you to do this by hand. All right? Now, to do this one, I want you to do second enter. Second enter. Change plus to minus. So I want you to change the plus to a minus sign. Then enter. And it tells you 7 plus I. Then second enter. Change minus to a times sign. Enter. And it will tell you negative 22 plus 7i. Then second enter, change to a divide sign. And it's going to give you something really, really nasty. So I want you to do, and I'm going to type it out because it's involved and it's too much to handwrite. But do math, enter. So I want you to turn it into a fraction. And when you do that, what you get is 2 over 13 minus 23 over 13i. Yeehaw. Okay. And now for I to the 8. So second dot caret. So second dot this caret sign 8. Enter. And it's going to give me something nasty. It's going to give me a 1 plus yuck I. Throw away the yuck I. This is my answer. Then I to the 99. It's going to give me yuck e to a negative number. Hang on just a minute. It's going to give me, hang on just a minute. I forgot how that went. Yeah, to a negative number plus, or not plus on this one. It's going to be minus I. Keep the minus I. Throw away the yuck. And then second dot raised to the 130. Negative 1 minus 3 e to the negative 12I. Throw away the yuck. Keep the negative 1. Okay? So if it's got a negative exponent, throw it away. E is an exponent. So throw away the yuck. Only keep the good stuff. 1 is good stuff. Negative I is a good stuff. Negative 1 is the good stuff. Anything that has an E to a negative number is a bad stuff. All right. This is our last one for chapter 1. Yahoo! You made it through the first chapter.